Alrighty, gang, we're putting the covering on here. And here's what I love about this stuff. You can just chuck a rock on it, kick it. I just drug it across my driveway. This stuff is all time. It's super durable, real bomb proof. It's that 10 mil woven Sola Scrim. We're starting by putting our end wall panels on. So there's gonna be one on this end right there, and one on that end. Before you jump into this end wall, this is me post end wall, because I forgot to tell you guys something. It's really important. You'll have a smooth side of your poly, and then you'll have a rough side, and the smooth side goes on the outside, rough side goes on the inside. Also, I didn't really get a close-up of the wiggle wire, but basically you're just wedging it into this channel with the polyethylene cover inside of it. So we're gonna take our piece of wiggle wire. All right, so best way to do this is obviously your longer side is gonna be going up and over like that, but you'll notice, so there's lines running vertically on here. What I do is I'll get it centered, I'll pick a line. You want a little bit of an overhang at the top, and get your wiggle wire and get it right in the middle of that top piece of the bow. Just kind of work your way down a couple inches on either side, making sure to kind of keep your overhang even. We're gonna take another piece of wiggle wire. Roughly tight, right about there, coming on the bottom here. It's great doing this on a windy day. Do the same thing on this side. Just come down. Pull around. You know, yeah, we're not coming up a major distance here. Just coming up a little bit just to get it held. And then come right back up to the top. Okay, and then you're just gonna take your wire cutters, cut it off as close as you can to the bottom, right in the middle of one of these. That's the best way to not try to puncture your poly. Come in on that little end one that's nice and central. But yeah, that is your end wall. And just do that on both sides. I'll meet you back here. All right, so we got both our end walls on. Got them all rocked on there. Wiggle wired that little bit at the bottom. Nice and tight. Smooth side on the outside, rough side on the inside. Before we put our top cover on, we're gonna wanna cut the excess off all that. And so if you've got a pair of scissors, that would be really nice. I don't have a pair of scissors, so I will be using my box cutter. When it comes to the overhang, you don't really want to cut it super tight, because if you cut it really tight and you've got to adjust this, like if this loosens up with heat or something and you want to pull it tight again, you're not going to have anything to grab onto and pull it out. So we like to leave, 2 to 3 inches of overhang just all around the perimeter, and I'll probably leave it a little bit long at the bottom there. Again, scissors work really well here. Gently. Do that on both end walls. We're gonna come in here and we're gonna do the top cover. Oh my God. And make sure that your overhang is just tucked fully behind the channel. Stuff, oh, see, so I've got way more on this side than I do on that side. Shift the whole thing a good 9 inches over. Okay, so you'll see that you've got a channel on the top of your structure. Now, good time to come through, and we're gonna wire that whole structure down. And you want to start in the middle and go out And this is the same deal. You're just wiggle wiring into the single channel. Keep it nice and evenly spread. And I've got mine pulled pretty tight, so it's just kind of self-guiding up here. And you don't have to go right up to the end of the single channel all the time. If you find there's just going to be a lot of pressure of like a pointy part of the wiggle wire onto the covering, just skip it and back off a little bit. You know, you don't need to go all the way to the end of the channel. So we got the top purlin all attached with wiggle wire. Next step is we are going to take one piece of wiggle wire, one full length piece, get it centered on the bow and bring it down on either side. And that is going to be what holds your roll up side covers in line. That and some rope, but we'll get to the rope. So first thing I'm going to do is get my poly tensioned up. We're going to go side by side here and put on our roll up side tubes. You're going to get your big side tubes and then a few snap clips. And you're gonna have a side where you're gonna want your handle to be. For me, I'm gonna put the handle on this side. And you're gonna want the tube hanging out a good 3 to 4 inches. And then just run down and make sure you still are getting the clearance you need on the back here. So I'm gonna take one of my snap clips, pull this side down nice and tight, get my tube on top of that, and what I do is I pull down and I line up that tube with the bottom of the baseboard, and then I clip it in pretty close to the end here. Keep in mind, you know, you don't want to go too close because you don't want these things to mount where the bow is, because then it'll just roll up on the bow and wreak all kinds of havoc. You know what, I might go to the end. Bottom of the baseboard. Flip it on the side there. Do that on both sides. Top covering's on. You're gonna put your easy hooks in. And these are great. So on my second screw down right there, I'm gonna put this easy hook on. Just like this. Little ridge side out. Do that just at each bow on both sides. So this side 1, 2, 3, far side 1, 2, 3.